All right, time for the primetime spotlight. Taking a look at our island games. We've got a Thursday night game, and I think you and I both have a strong opinion on this. Las Vegas at Denver. The Denver Broncos currently 8.5. The first note I made on this game, no hesitation, give me the Broncos. What say you?
Shocker, Chad. Simon says, give me the Broncos minus 8.5. I know.
Simon says Broncos minus 8.5 presented by Hard Rock Bet.
I want to play a game. Simon says.
It is a little shocking. I don't know if we've ever had a Thursday Simon says.
I've done them, but it's shocking I would take this big of a favorite, honestly, in a divisional game when we just talked about how we need to get back to our dog ways.
I know.
But it's really about the number and the spot, and I'm excited to dive more into this game as the week goes along here, see where this number does go. Like this Raiders team could be sellers right now. And that's why I want to get this number out early, people to grab this number early, because it might just be the Brock Bowers show, right? They already traded Jacoby Myers this morning for a pick, to the Jaguars.
Yep.
They're sellers, and they should be, right? I talk to people all the time within that organization. That game last week, not that it dictated if they're going to retain Pete Carroll, but it kind of did. Like Pete Carroll put his neck out there, wanted to get Geno. He needed some wins here, and it feels like they're a package deal. If they keep tanking to get a quarterback this year, they'll send Pete and Geno packing. So I think that was a give-it-all game last week that they blew, and we talk all the time. Situationally, there's certain opportunities during the season. This feels like a rare opportunity. You have a Raiders team that played a really hard-fought game and went into overtime and used up the full overtime clock. Like, they played a ton of football, and now they're on a short week on a Thursday night football. It's pretty easy numbers to find. Teams in this exact spot, 6-25 against the spread. So 19%. All right, let's check out what's it like for that team on the road. Even worse, 3-16 against the spread in this exact spot. So, could this be an outlier? Could this Raiders team pull off the upset? Sure, but this is the type of game where the Raiders team, like last week, I thought we had a good spot. That was, to me, a good bet that we got. Unfortunately, got by the backup quarterback. Here, this is that game that Bo Nix just blows out teams. Like, it's a bad Raiders defense that's really bad against quarterbacks that can run the football.
Yep.
On the flip side, defensively, I love this matchup for this Denver team in a get-right spot against a quarterback I still don't trust. Even going back and rewatching that Raiders game, it just felt like the Brock Bowers game. Like, he had just had defenders bouncing off on him, making plays. Nothing Geno did in that game gave me any more confidence. He's still throwing off his back foot, still happy feet, still locking in on his number one read, and that's the only read he's going to throw to. And lucky for him, it's Brock Bowers, who obviously is a game changer. So, yeah, this number, I thought it'd be getting to 10. It's gone the other way. It's gone from 9.5 down to 8.5 right now. So, pros are coming in on this Raiders team, but I'm going to go against them here. I think they're overreading on a short week. I like this spot a lot for this Broncos team, and a team that typically Bo Nix, he dominates in these exact spots.
Simon, this might have been, there's probably 3 games that I feel great about right now. It'll change over the course of the week. This was one of them. Everything about this to me screamed get right spot for the Broncos, a much better defense, a Raiders defense that gives up a 71% completion rate in the secondary. We saw how Trevor Lawrence did it against them, kept them going down the field. That second half was just a track meet. This is a much, much better defense. Don't forget, in that Jacksonville game, Trayvon Walker left the game because he tried to closed fist punch a guy in the face. He was ejected. That was a significant difference in the game. Like, you could see they stopped getting any pass rush on Geno once he went out of the game. That's not going to be a problem for the Broncos. And they are just too good defensively and too well coached offensively. Even Bo Nix can't get in the way of this. Thursday night home favorites of more than 9. 61% against the spread. Thank you, Killer Sports. I thought you would like that one because I know you like the trends. But I like it too in this case. I think we're going to end up having Denver in our final 5 and as a contest play, and it's going to be a rare Thursday play for us. Pittsburgh is visiting the Chargers. The line has moved from 3.5 down to 3. Another stinky line, not stinky, but just another bad line that the bookmakers posted on Sunday night. Forget about it being a rah-rah Mike Tomlin spot. How are the Chargers going to protect Justin Herbert? We see it every single week. They're now out. Joe Alt is now out for the season. Bobby Hart, who was supposed to be an off-the-street sort of backup, turned into one of their better offensive linemen. He pulled his groin, status unknown for this weekend. The Steelers did do things defensively against the Colts that I think were new, and they were the reasons why we were sometimes afraid to bet them. They stopped playing so much man with Jalen Ramsey. They moved him to safety. They got Kyle Duggar from I think the Patriots, right? And they played him a lot in the game. So now they put all this stuff on film so people can see that they were playing zone and it's not going to be confusing to anybody. But the bigger issue is just the Chargers cannot protect Justin Herbert. And if TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith can do anything against this Chargers offensive line, he's just going to be running for his life the entire game.
Yeah, I hate this game so much. I'm not going to lie. It's your early read on Sunday was so right. It was a Pittsburgh number, 3.5. Now, if you went 3.5, it's like minus 130. That's just totally gone. Hard Rock here in Jersey has already moved to 2.5, minus 2.5 now.
Wow.
So it's kind of becoming a Chargers line. Shockingly, my model had this at a pick. So like ton of value to the Steelers team. I think it's what you're saying. It's like maybe I'm underestimating the value of Joe Alt and this offensive line, how important it is to the success of not only Herbert, but that running attack, which if you can't get that going against this Pittsburgh team, they make you one-dimensional. Yeah, there are ways Pittsburgh can defensively play really well, right? When they know you have to pass, you got guys like Watt up front, that's going to be a huge deal, right? And he can just pin his ears back. But I'm having a hard time getting there on Pittsburgh at 2.5. At 3, I can get there. 3.5, I'm all the way there. But at 2.5, I'm slowly starting to be like, isn't this a Chargers line? At what point does this become a Chargers line? Because to me, they are still the better team. And even last week, it took 5 turnovers and a ton of things go their way for Pittsburgh to kind of win that game.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like we have a pattern here with Pittsburgh this year, right? The games they win, they have tons of turnover luck. Because it's just, it's a dysfunctional defense. Like we said, teams can get theirs against them. They're going to give up yards. Can they win the turnover battle? That's how they're going to steal games. So Herbert, it should be a great Herbert game and spot for Herbert. But like you said, if he has a third stringer going up against Watt, I don't care how much you're chipping with the tight end or the running back, someone's getting a one-on-one against a really bad suspect backup on that offensive line. They're going to win. So I'm with you. If you can get the +3 on Pittsburgh, that's probably the line to get right now. But I'm really not too favorable of either of these sides right now.
Last game on the board. Philadelphia at Green Bay. Green Bay's a 2.5-point favorite. It's got to be Green Bay. This has to be the buy low, sell high spot. I know the Eagles have traded for done half the trades, Howie going Howie before the trade deadline. They've added Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins. They added Jair Alexander, the cornerback who had been buried on the Ravens bench. I don't know if that's going to be the solution to their second cornerback need on the edge. But we've just seen the Packers lose to the Panthers at home, in which the Panthers defense was great. But like you pointed out, the Packers did not punt in that game. That was self-inflicted entirely by the Packers. Meanwhile, the Eagles, they're looking like champions the last couple of weeks. So, and they got the bye. So I'm a little surprised that this is under 2.5 because it feels like such a Packers line. I'm actually surprised it hasn't moved to 3.
And we always said Hard Rock, sharp book here in Jersey. They just hit 2. So
really,
yeah. So some professional money obviously is coming on the Eagles, and that's I knew we saw it Sunday night. I knew this was gonna be the most public dog of the week, and public dogs do hit. Like the Bills were the number 1 public dog last week. They came through no problem. So this Eagles team, everything you said is so true. They could be getting into form here. I'm walking into it. I like to think that this Green Bay team is better than what we've seen. And when they play against certain competition, they're another team that plays the level of that competition. I mean, how many times we've seen this year they play well against really good teams and then lay total eggs against suspect teams. Like that Browns game, that was a really suspect loss, and that was once again on Jordan Love. He gave that game away. How do you not blame Jordan Love for that Carolina loss? He gave that game away. He just made so many bad mistakes. So I know I love this one Sunday. I'm kind of flipping towards the Eagles, unfortunately. I'm getting pushed into it. I want to hold firm, hear what the professionals are saying, I'll see what other guys are saying. But as right now, a couple pros I talked to, they do like the Eagles here. They like the number, especially with the hook at 2.5. But doesn't this just feel like a stinky line? This should be a Green Bay spot. So I'm going to dive more into this one right now. Can't get much from the model. My model has this one at -1 Green Bay. So technically it is the Eagles line, but I just think something's real trappy about this game. And this Eagles team, as championship form, like you said, they've looked. This is going to be a true test. This is a really good Green Bay team on the road after an embarrassing loss. You expect LaFleur to get these guys to bounce back.